You want to see some red ink? Well, look on the left-hand side of the screen. Dow off 400 points, pre-market that is. Nasdaq's down 121. David Nicholas joins me now. The markets are down on Putin, nukes, and Ukraine. Is that right?
Sure, it's a big deal. I think, I don't say this lightly, but I think we could be seeing the start of World War III, right? You've got Russia, Ukraine, you've got Israel, Iran. And I think you're going to have China and Taiwan here before long. So it's a big deal. It's why you see markets selling off this morning, why I think we're going to see bonds rally in the short term.
Well, if that's the case, if we are staring down, as you put it, World War III, that's a little extreme, but that doesn't go away quickly, does it?
Well, Stuart, what's the solution here? I mean, if you see what the Biden administration did, I think they just amplified the situation by allowing NATO weapons to be used inside of Russia. Putin's not going to take that lightly. This has been my big fear for the markets. It's the geopolitical risk. The economy is doing fine. It's the geopolitical risk that is hard to see how we unwind this. I think the Trump administration is going to take this seriously. I hope they do, and I think they are. But it's a big deal, and it's going to impact stocks in the short term.
And the safe haven is the 10-year Treasury and gold. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. You see metals rallying. We've got gold. We own silver. I think silver's a better value if you're looking for a safe haven, but gold is doing well, and also treasuries. You're going to see the long term. So TLT, Stuart, is the long treasury bond. That thing has gotten decimated here recently. I think we're going to see some bids and some buying on TLT, which is the 20-year plus treasury bond. It's where investors are going to go for safety.
Bitcoin is fairly firm above $90,000. Is that a safe haven?
So I look at crypto, Stuart, as a risk-on asset. It's interesting. It's kind of flat, I think, this morning. Generally, Bitcoin does better when people are okay with taking risk. So I actually think we could see Bitcoin at least pause here. I don't think it's going to see a sell-off, but I don't think you're going to see investors run to Bitcoin. You're going to look for the old-school safe havens like gold, treasuries, or is where investors are going to go.
Okay. NVIDIA reports tomorrow after the bell.
Yeah.
You think they're going to do very well. You think they're going to beat everybody, don't you?
Stuart, it's a big week. I have been one of your biggest bulls probably on NVIDIA on this program. I think they're going to do well. 25% of earnings per share growth of the S&P 500 comes from NVIDIA. This is a big deal. I can't overstate it, especially with the geopolitical risk. So I think it's all about the Blackwell chip. It's early, but it looks promising. There's bad PR right now on it. I think the Blackwell chip will ramp up in the fourth quarter and the first quarter of next year. I think we could see a 175 price target on this thing over the next 10 to 12 months, Stuart.
You've got to listen to the call to figure out where this company is going, I think. Now, you've got some picks with Trump in office. What do you like? Which companies, which stocks will do well with Trump in office? Give me a list.
Yeah, that's right. So consumer, look, the consumer is doing okay, but I think the consumer is going to be a lot better under President Trump. Mainly why? Because taxes are going down. That's going to benefit Amazon. Stuart, all those packages that arrive to your door, that means the consumer is going to be stronger. I think Tesla actually does better as well. Look, there's a lot of fear of us losing the EV subsidy. That helps Tesla. The other EV companies need it. Tesla doesn't need it. So I think that does well. I think we're going to see a surge in M&A activities that benefits Goldman Sachs. And I also think we're going to see regulatory burden come off the back of names like Google and Meta, and I think you're going to see corporate advertising doing well also. So these are some of the names, Stuart, that I think you want to be buyers of today, and I think you'll do very well.
You're really talking as if there's going to be an across-the-board continuation of the Trump rally after January the 20th when he takes office, right?
Well, look, tax cuts is what the market is desperate for, Stuart. This is a big deal. If corporate tax rates go down to 15%, this is the market's going to, I think, explode higher. We could see an additional 10% earnings per share growth. That impacts Facebook. That impacts Tesla. That impacts all these large companies. But I think mid caps could also be one of the biggest beneficiaries, Stuart.
We've had a couple of people on this program suggest that by the end of next year, the S&P 500 will be at 7,000. That would be, what, 1,200 points above where it is now. Are you as bullish as that?
I'd love to see it. I am a bull. I'm optimistic. There's a lot that's going to happen, though, Stuart, between now and next year. You have a new administration, so there's a lot to see. But I think if we stay out of war, this market is heading higher, Stuart.
All right, we hear you. Thank you very much for joining us.